I'm Philip Ward, Editor-in-Chief of Aunt Minnie Europe. This month, the UK is destined to leave the European Union. We thought it would be a good opportunity this week to discuss with the RCR President, Dr. Nicola Strickland, about the implications of this for radiology. Nicola, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good. First of all, now you have talked quite a lot about the looming crisis in recruitment and retention of radiologists. Has the situation got any worse over the last year? How are things going in the UK?
Well, I'm afraid it has got worse, actually, yes. It's been a gradual progression. So, for example, in 2016, we had about an 8.5% deficit of radiologists in the UK, and that's gradually increasing. So, on our last census figures from 2017, we had 10.1% overall in the UK deficit of radiologists, and I know that actually for the 2018-19 figures, it's going to be worse than that, of the order of about 12%.
Okay. Now, are the shortages most apparent in certain regions of the country and in certain subspecialties?
Yes, they are. So the worst hit regions are Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, the north of England, both the northwest and the northeast, and also Kent. So in fact in Northern Ireland it's over 18%, unfortunately. In terms of the specialties, particularly bad for cardiac radiology, for breast radiology, oncological radiology and head and neck radiology, and of course interventional radiology. In fact, only 1/7 of our hospitals in the UK are able to provide a 24/7 cover for interventional radiology, which is really very serious.
That's worrying, yes. Now, the EU nationals, radiologists from outside of the UK who are from EU countries, are a vital part of the workforce. What could you tell us about that, and can you reassure those people about their future in the UK?
Well, I wish I could. I can to some extent, in that the government is very well aware of these shortages, and I think will do its utmost to retain those very valuable radiologists. In terms of figures, about 10% of our radiological workforce originally qualified in radiology in Europe. I can't tell you the percentage who are leaving as a result of Brexit, but I know a significant number have left, which is a huge shame because they're so valuable to us. Nothing will change in terms of the GMC, certainly until December 2020. We just don't know exactly what the future will be, but I would still continue very strongly to welcome European radiologists in the UK. We need them, and we need them to stay with us.
Right. Now, the other aspect that's causing some concern is medical isotopes and the supply of these for nuclear medicine scans. Could you tell us a little bit about that, about how you're working towards guaranteeing the supply of medical isotopes post-Brexit?
Well, we as a college can't guarantee it, of course, but we've had a number of discussions with the government and with arm's length bodies about getting radioisotopes into the UK in a timely fashion. Because, of course, remember that all our radioisotopes that are made in nuclear reactors have to come from outside the UK, in that we don't generate those ourselves. And so the problem is, if as is likely when we leave Europe, that there will be delays in getting these decaying substances into the UK, we won't be able to treat patients with the long-acting radioisotopes, and we won't be able to do all the nuclear medicine scans that we've been doing, particularly on cancer patients, as we have been before. And so, of course, these are, if you like, perishable goods, rather like fruit and vegetables, in that every extra minute or hour that they spend these substances at the borders waiting to get in, they are decaying and becoming less effective. So we will have to purchase more isotope in order to have the same dose, and we'll have to try and guarantee alternative routes of transport. So I know from a meeting that the college had with the Department of Health and Social Care last week, and with a number of other bodies, including the BNMS, the British Nuclear Medicine Society, that arrangements are being made with the major suppliers of radioisotopes to fly these substances into the UK in order to avoid road transport. So that will be quicker. But major concerns are still there in terms of when are these flights going to come in? Are they going to come in during the night? Are we going to be able to transport those isotopes out to the hospitals in time for the morning list? And if not, are we going to have patients coming in during the night or up to midnight in order to dispense?
So no isotopes are made in the UK at the moment?
Not isotopes that come from nuclear reactors, no.
Okay, right. Moving on to the recruitment, the recognition of degrees and qualifications. Does the UK recognise European diplomas at the moment in radiology?
At the present time, because of being a member of the EU, the GMC recognises if a radiologist has qualified in Europe for full registration with the GMC, not specialist registration as far as I know, but for the full registration automatically because that radiologist has qualified in European radiology. And that, I presume, we don't know exactly, will change, as I say, probably actually not until after December 2020. But then they will be treated, one presumes, as other radiologists from anywhere else in the world would be treated. And that is that some, depending upon their degree, some of those degrees will be recognised. If you take, for example, at the present time, for Australian New Zealand radiologists, their Franska exam is recognised within 3 years of it having been taken. The same is true for the American boards for Canada and for South Africa and for Southern Ireland, but not for anywhere else in the world.
Right,
so that is the worry, I guess, yes.
Good, excellent. Well, I'm sure it'll be a very busy few months ahead, few weeks ahead in the run-up to Brexit, so we wish you every success in that task. This is Philip Ward from Mini Europe, wrapping up.